Hey y'all, let me get some people in here. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. So in 2 minutes, we are going to go live with the lovely, did I just sing? Christina. I think there is a way. Hi, boo.
Yerp. Hi.
Hi.
What do you do, baby? We got so much to talk about, sis. Sis, when I tell
I
you,
Sage, I'm speaking to Oakland City Council.
girl,
Oh my goodness.
they trifling.
What I can say is that they're working.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a problem they've ever had before.
Mm,
So navigating that. I'm putting this together. Okay, so I figured out. Okay, cool. I know navigating that with the vendors has been problematic, but at least they're trying to come up with better resolutions.
yes. So wishful, hopeful thinking. Everything will be a-okay.
But I'm praying.
Thank you. We need it. We all
Look, let me know what I need to do if I need to do anything where I can support.
No, just be present. Be you.
Uh,
I used to have a list of questions when I talk to when I do these lives, but that's out the window. We just gonna freestyle it. Like
okay.
do
Well,
anything.
you know I'm good for just pulling it out.
Right. But for those who don't know you, well, let's get a couple more people in. Hold on.
Yep. All right, so I see Herman is in the building. King
Yeah.
Herman, what it do, baby?
One of the best dancers in the whole wide world.
Look, look.
One of the
And
best.
then I be looking at him like I don't want to dance next to you. Oh, three
I
stripes is in
three.
the building.
Three.
The very first time I heard him spin was at Noah Hollow Wednesdays, bro. That night was lit. He had us going up. Shout out to Swipe.
That's so dope. That is so
Ain't
dope.
no cap over here, Herman. It's all truth.
Right. That is so true.
He be killing it.
Man, his feet
I
go like.
smoke. And then be looking at you like, can you do it too?
No. Sorry.
Not. As in the words of Lil Wayne once said, no, sir, not me.
Wow. How was your trip?
Oh, it was amazing. It was so beautiful.
That's my guy over there.
Yeah, that's West Alexandria. It was an amazing trip. It was very soul filling. A lot of revelations about self,
Mm-hmm.
a beautiful way. Closing some chapters, recognizing kind of the growth that I've had in my journey and really paving forward. I think I've gotten to a point, and I said it on my Insta story over the week. The rat race ain't for me. I'm very clear about what my talent is. I'm very clear where my creativity lies. I'm very clear about how I've been blessed. So there's no reason to be racing. There's no reason to be over here, over there, whatever, for any of that. Because I got what I got.
Yeah, and just being in the moment, enjoying the moment.
Period.
Not worried about the future, not worried about the past, being
Mm-mm.
in the present. In
And
the,
it was really telling that
here,
I have growth.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. See, we got
Like,
Tia in the
people, we got people coming
building.
in. Let's go.
I look. I told my group chat. I said, so I'm being interviewed about all the soul searching things that I be talking about. So if you
Right.
want to hear me live, come on through.
Come on through.
Come on through. This is gonna be a blessing. And I hope it really does bless somebody. I like to be an example.
Oh, definitely.
Um, so I think so being in the moment, but then also recognizing grace is allowing you to not. I'm one of those people who thought like grow, do. When you like that, you can't sit in your growth. And in being in Chicago made me have to like sit
Yeah.
in where I've come from. Like when I think about August 2019 is when I self-diagnosed myself as an alcoholic. Mind you, I had been drinking nonstop for a year. So, okay, Golden God with it. I love it. Thank you. And so sitting with self and being like, yo, you haven't drank in almost 2 years. And this is the most me I've ever been.
Wait. Let's rewind because we got people here now.
Okay. All right.
Introduce yourself. If for those who don't know you, who are you? What you do? All that. Where you from?
I'm repping the rich.
You already know.
I am, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Christina Alejandria. I am an influencer, a Black wellness advocate, specifically in emotional, spiritual, and mental advocacy. I am from the Bay. I rep real Richmond, but I also rep real, V-Town. I'm from both. I graduated from college in 2012 from Pepperdine University, was supposed to be a lawyer, said fuck that, basically. Kind of chart my own way in life. And so it wasn't until I was 25, 26, I had just been fired from, hey, Kiki. I just been fired from my last corporate job. Basically, my manager was intimidated by me. And instead of working with me, she was like, get a phone out of here. She found a way to get me fired. And after that, I said I no longer wanted my life to be in the hands of anybody else. I was like, I don't want to be at the mercy of people, but I had never had the time to get to know self. So on February 5th, 2018, I prayed to God and I was like, life is more than this. Show me that. Where it came from, but I was like, I don't want to live like this. I want to die empty. And thus the creed, which was my exploration into that self journey, came up.
What is it for those who don't know?
So the creed show that I do on IGTV, which basically explores growing through the narratives of my own life. So everything that I talk about is literally because I going through it, went through it, or in process of it. And I have just life lessons at 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and being very transparent about that. So, people are always retrospective in their journeys. They're always like, well, I went through this. And I'm like, no, so yesterday, hit with this revelation, and now I'm sharing it with you. So it's not necessarily retrospective. It's actually, I am in the moment. And that show turned into my whole platform. Everything I do is about the self journey. And so I've kind of shifted it a little bit to being, the tagline is, it all begins within. And my platform is about your self journey, because I believe wholeheartedly that everything that we have, everything that we achieve, everything that we're going to get comes from the work that we do in here. And whatever is in here is going to be, the reason why I'm at fucking COVID is because of what was in here.
Right.
Somebody saw something in me to be like, you're not there yet, but you're going to be. So let's do this work, right? So I wholeheartedly believe that everything itself is preparing you or will prepare you for where you need to go. And so that is how my platform kind of self-developed. I wasn't necessarily looking to be an influence. Even now, I don't do like the brand deals and all that stuff. I've never made any money from any of the content that I've ever done.
Not yet.
Not yet. But specifically, I paved it that way because I didn't want people to undervalue the work because I made some money. And then when I decided that, okay, one day I will make some money, I said I'm only specifically working with Black brands, Black people, and Black creatives.
Okay.
Because my for me. So now that I'm in a space of as a creative director, which was a lot to get to this, I'm like, okay, how do we take the concepts of mental, emotional, and spiritual health and make it digestible to be able to learn? I could tell you to read The Power of Now. I could tell you to read all these highfalutin self-help books, but the reality is the way Black people heal is different. Shout out to Free the Cheeks. Those are my girls, Free the Cheeks, but they say it, we heal. Black people heal differently.
Right.
It's not in a book. It's through community. It's through one another. We literally heal through one another.
Yes.
And so somebody has to be able to take this information and give it through spirit and in truth. So that's what I do on IG.
Okay. That's amazing. So I have a question for you. What is the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Like, what is your routine? What is your routine?
So I'm in a group chat with some dynamic ass Black women who are actually in the chat right now. So usually I check and see what they talking about because they all on the East Coast. So they be up way before I be up.
Right.
But I'll check in with them, and I always tell them Grand Rising. That is my first to do in the morning, is tell my girls Grand Rising. Because for me, that is like, even though we're no one of us, I'm not near none of them, for me, that is like my first, like, hey, beautiful souls.
Yes.
Rising.
Right.
Then I go on my...
I didn't mourn.
Right. Then I go, Ty said, can't confirm, exactly. And then I do my meditation. So I have guided meditations. I do still meditation, but I burn sage, get my and I set myself up to breathe and meditate and focus on my day. From there, I greet my Insta story. And I always wake up every morning like, Grand Rising, beautiful. That's BEAUTIFULL, soul. Because it's full, one, beauty, right? But full, being full. Your soul is full when you rise. You're equipped when you rise. So I acknowledge the beauty in what is within to my audience every single day. And if I don't, they check me.
Okay. You got to have them accountability partners. Can you hear me? I'm sorry, I lost you on the volume. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Perfect. These things be... I hate technology. So I don't know. What's the last thing you heard?
I just said accountability partners. It's always good to have accountability partners.
Right. Accountability. And then that allows me, I don't know, I think there's energy in how we get up, and that can set the tone for the day. And so for me, it's about setting tone. I always got to set the tone. When I don't set the tone, the day tries to run me over. So when I wake up and I'm like, Grand Rising, beautiful, because that's not just an acknowledgement of y'all, that's an acknowledgement of self.
Self as well, yeah.
So that's how I get up in the morning.
Amazing. You've inspired me so much, and it's a beautiful thing to have witnessed your journey. I met you in the beginning, in a sense, like before you started your journey with.
I'm a crier. So let me go ahead and get these ready.
You can do it. No, but like from the beginning, I remember when we first met at my cousin's house, and how you were kind of like going through some things, and I could tell that it was a transition period for you, and just the glow up. but also the self-discipline and the self-love, and just putting in the work, and the consistency, and still putting in the work. But to get where you are today from when I first met you, wow. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, girl, hold on. It's too early. It's too early.
And it's just seeing everything you have accomplished and everything that you're going to accomplish in the near future. I'm truly honored and blessed to have you as a friend, and also have you on my live right now. And it's important for me to have these lives with these people to encourage and push others to just go for it and just to do it. And whatever demons you're fighting, it's okay to it's going to take time. It's not a process where you're like, okay, this is about to happen, I'm gonna do A, B, and C, and then 3 months later you like, psh. It's not going to take 3 months. It's not going to, it probably not even take 3 years. It's going to take time to evolve and to change and to be the person that you're meant to be. But you have to have patience.
And you have to have unshakable belief. Like when I say unshakable, you cannot be moved. One thing I've consistently re-educate to people is that God brings you the tribe that you need to sustain you through the growth. Because
Right.
the people that you think or you may want to, or all this other stuff that are supposed to be there for you, that you think is supposed to be there. By you, this is based off of what you think. This ain't based off of what's actually needed for you, right? They
Right.
may not be it. And so during some of the darkest times of my life, we were talking about it earlier, but since we have more people here, I don't mind reiterating. I'm an ex-alcoholic. I'll be 2 years sober in September. Actually, it's funny because the last time I drank was at your cousin's birthday party. I was fucked up. I was so messed up. But in that time, my family kind of deserted me, right? The friend that I had around at the time was actually enabling my behaviors. And I had to take a clear moment with self and say, okay, I don't want this anymore. And that's where it starts. And I think people really downplay the choice to do different. They think, oh, well, that's just, no, sweetie. Understand something. You have developed a habit. You've developed a way of life that you now understand does not suit you anymore.
Right.
That is a powerful place that is a powerful place to be in, right?
Yeah.
That is a powerful place to be able to look at self and go, no. And then what's even more powerful is going, okay, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, but I have an unshakable belief that this ain't for me no more. My unshakable belief came first when I lost my job in corporate. And for 2 years, I lost it in 2017. For 2 years, I was unemployed. And I had an unshakable belief, like, I don't know what's going to come for me, but this is what I need. God, I need a place where I can nurture my community. I need a place where I could be able to nurture my soul. I need a place where I could be in purpose. I need a place where that as I'm in purpose, I am elevated in purpose in my position. I need this, I need this, I need this. During that time, and I know I'm jumping around, but follow me. During that time, COBIZ broke ground the same month I lost my job. I didn't even know COBIZ existed.
Wow.
I had no idea COBIZ existed. Wesley was hired as the CEO like 6 months later. In August, I became the social media manager for Dimlis Johnson III. He ran for city council, youngest councilman to ever run and win. Got him in office. Some things happened in that situation that left me now out of a job and out of income. And I wasn't doing it for money. I was doing it for fun.
That's in Richmond, right?
That was in Richmond. And I'm still sitting here like, I know I'm supposed to do this. But my position with him led me here. I didn't know. I just one day met Wesley at the grand opening of the food hall.
Wow.
And I listened to him talk and I was like, hey, he about something.
Yeah, he is.
Right. If y'all have ever had the pleasure of meeting Wesley, that man is about
COVID.
something.
If you could explain a little bit about COPIS for those who don't know.
So COBIZ is, well, I'm gonna get to that as I go through the story. Because COBIZ wasn't anything when I met him. He was just at a table. You see it's furnished and it's all nice, and from what you can see, there's stuff here, right?
Oh.
This was an empty building. There was nothing here. And something in me kept coming next door. I would just keep coming downtown and be like, hey, can I ask you a question? Hey, can I talk to you about this? Hey, hey, hey. I did it for 6 months. I was here so much, I can give a tour of the space without needing help.
Right.
I was just always here. And one day I said, oh, I'm going to just contract for COBIZ. I'm a contract. That was what my manifest. I'm a contract for COBIZ. July, my dad kicked me out. 2 days before that, Wesley offered me my job here with no interview.
Wow.
He just offered it. 2 days later, my dad kicked me out after that. And I had an unshakable belief. I was like, okay, COBIZ is where I need to be. And I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't know where I'm going to go. And I don't know. And I don't know. And I don't know. But I know I got to be here because my dad straight up told me if my mom, she going to have to wait. My mom called me.
Okay.
She going to have to wait. My dad had told me if I did not move back to Vallejo, then I had to get out. And I was staying with my grandmother in Richmond. And I was like, I have done too much. I've sacrificed too much. I have gone down to, I can't just give it up.
Right.
I was like, I can't. I was like, I'm not. He's like, well, you got to go. I was like, all right, cool. Tried to tell him about COBIZ. He didn't want to listen. I was like, okay, cool. Was couch surfing. Got here. 2 weeks in, I told Wesley, I said, I am an alcoholic. And I don't know if I can do this job in the lifestyle that I'm currently in. I need to stop drinking and I need help. He goes, I give you 2 weeks.
Say. To your boss.
To my boss. To my boss. Like, to my boss. Like, I don't know if I could do this job in the lifestyle that I'm currently in. He's like, I'll give you 2 weeks off. Don't come to COBIZ. Figure it out. And I dry turkeyed it. Didn't go to AA meetings. Didn't do none of that. I just stopped drinking. I think I came out of I was with my friend Oba. Shout out to Oba. She is literally like my little sister, but she let me stay at her house. I think I left one time, and that was to go to Naturally Herb because I knew I am dehydrated. My body was doing crazy stuff. Like, y'all, look at the signs of alcoholism. But I went blind for like 3 hours. I could not see, like out of nowhere. I was like, and I was freaked out because I couldn't pick up my phone because I couldn't find my phone because I didn't, it was, I couldn't do nothing. And so I finally got into a place where I could like kind of function. And I was like, let me go to Naturally Herb because at least I know I can get the nutrients I need to bring my body back. Because I was going through crazy stuff.
Right.
Got through the alcohol, stopped drinking, came back. And then it was like, okay, now we got to work on this. And I'm like, God, but I just stopped drinking. Now we got to work on this. Now we got to work on this. Now we're going to work on this. But I was able to do that here in this place that I work at, right? I was able to get exactly what I had prayed for. I prayed for a place where I can help my community. I do that every single day. I pray for a place that I can grow in. I pray for a place that I wouldn't be judged for. I pray for a place that would allow me, that would see me, Christina, not what I put out, not what I do, but see Christina. I prayed for very specific things, but I had to do the work to maintain those things. If I had stopped drinking, baby, me and you would not be talking right now.
Right. And you had to put in a lot of self-discipline.
That part. I can now easily say no at social functions. But it was really hard at first with my friends who knew me as Christina the party animal. Christina be turned up. Christina, you sure you don't want no drink? Nah. There were days where I was so lost. I was like, well, maybe. No, you don't. No, you don't. See, the thing about demons, and I don't know whoever's listening if y'all believe in this stuff, but I'm going to say it. The thing about demons, they don't go away. You manage them better. And they come back. There'll be stuff that you think that you tackled 5 years ago, and it come right back at you, right?
This is definitely a yin and a yang. We got to have balance.
Have to have balance, right? So it's not that it just goes. You have to manage. You have to balance. You have to figure out what works for you.
Right.
In order for you to sustain self. Again, it all begins within. So if you're not putting in within self to sustain through your trials, your tribulations, your seasons, then you fail over and over again. One thing I ain't gonna do is learn a lesson again. Oh no, the second time? No, not me.
Right.
And so being in this place brought me my healing because it gave me the opportunity to do the self work. Because I realized that I have power. I am, it's hard to say because I like to stay humble about it, but to hear people say that I inspire them is weird to me because I'm like, I'm just living in my truth.
Yeah.
I'm living in my creed. I'm dying empty. I'm living fully. I'm putting everything on the table to
Right.
where I look at the end of my life and I'm sitting there looking at whatever the legacy is that I've built and go, okay, I did what I was supposed to do.
Right. That's what it is. We all have to put in the work. And you're inspiring people is that you are transitioning, you're changing, but you're growing and you're glowing. And that's something that's very important. And people see that in you. And that's what inspires them to do the same.
Right. And that is literally like my life's mission is I call them fix your crown moments. If I'm not fixing a crown at least once a day, if I'm not coming up to you like, hey sis, hey nigga, come here. Look, if I'm not fixing a crown, I'm not in my purpose.
It's those words where the people say, oh, well, I'm trying, or I'm going to, or I do that. Like we are getting into existence.
Yes.
People come up to me and they're like, oh, I want this and this. I'm like, okay, like, what are you doing to achieve that? What list are you making? Are you writing down these goals? Like, you're saying, oh, well, I have to wait till A, B, and C happen. No, you don't.
Look, when I tell you
No,
agreement, I literally just said this on my Insta story last night. You can say all the prayers, all the affirmations, do all the rituals. What are you actually doing?
Put in the work.
Put in the work. And the work is not this, like, again, it's not rat race. We think, oh, I gotta grind. No, work is, have you dealt with your manipulative spirit yet?
It's inside. It's inside.
Have you dealt with your trauma? Have you dealt with your pain? Have you dealt with the fact that you're a liar? Have you actually been the reflection of self that you need to be? There's some other, I'll tell you right now, I was the master manipulator. They said the power of life and death is in the tongue. I could speak some death on some people's souls. But now I speak life.
You speak life.
I only speak life because I had to acknowledge that I was speaking death.
You have to face your past. You have to face your trauma. Face your alcoholism. Those things you had to face head on. You couldn't just, a lot of people like to bury that deep. They like to bury a lot of stuff and hide it. And they're not being their true selves.
Right.
Once your true self and be your true form,
deal with the root.
Everything's gonna fall into place.
Deal with the root. Alcoholism is a symptom of an issue. So the issue wasn't I was drinking. The issue was I hated myself so much that the only way I could deal with myself was being drunk.
It's to suppress.
I liked that people liked the fun party, Christina, Leo season, gang, like, oh, I'm here, all this other stuff, right? But when I actually had to deal with the root of what it was, I was, one, scared of me, but two, I hated me.
Yeah.
And I can say that openly with no issue now because, oh, look, you see me, I love me. I love me, right?
And that journey that you had to take in order to achieve in that self-love. What is a quote that you live by? Give me a quote. This could be a quote by a famous person. It could be a quote by a friend. It could be a quote by you. What is something that you tell yourself? And this is to encourage you, push you, or just something that you just live by day.
So it's something I say. I say, live freely, live fully, live life, love life, die empty.
I love that die empty part too.
Die empty is like, you will literally hear me say it all the time. I always say die empty. And people are like, why are you focused on death? I'm not focused on death. I'm focused on In order to be that, I have to live fully. I have to live every single day. That's not me traveling and doing all kinds of, no, that's, I get up in the morning and I honor myself through my meditation. When things happen during my day that I may not plan for, I don't take 20 minutes and make it rule a whole week. I take that 20 minutes and go, okay, let me deal with the 20 minutes. Living fully is loving yourself, to me.
Yeah.
It's that self journey. For me, my self journey has brought me into places that I never, ever, by the grace of Sky Daddy, that's how I refer to God, Sky Daddy, has brought me into places amongst people that I never would have expected. I've tapped into gifts that I didn't even know I had.
Oh, you definitely manifested a lot, especially when you were doing co-biz. You knew mentally you needed to be there, so you took the steps to show that you were going to be there.
Right.
There.
And I was like, God, I am a creative. I'm a photographer, videographer. I'm a graphic designer. I'm all these things. And I was like, you know, these things are great. I don't like doing them though. There is something that I like within this creative realm that I'm good at. So there's a zone of excellence and a zone of genius. I've been operating in a zone of excellence, which is just I'm good at a lot of stuff. But I was like, where is my genius at? And it wasn't until August of last year I did a birthday photo shoot for my 30th. Because I think that turning 30 is being divine. I'm like, ooh, I'm a goddess. Oof. People be like, 30 is old. No, it's not. This is when you pop in. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm turning 30. And this concept just like, it was like a laser being shot straight into my forehead. And I saw this vision of what my shoot would look like. And I put it together. It was the creative director. I had a photographer and a makeup artist. I bought everything. Was like, we're going to shoot it here. Boom, 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 boom. And it ended up being one of the most beautiful things I ever created. And then I did it again a month later, 2 months later. And then I just did it for my first client in March. And I was like, oh, it's not the photography, it's your mind.
The visual, sis.
You're a visionary. You are a creative director.
You
don't need to be on the camera. You need to be facilitating the visual. And that in and of itself brought me my company, See Us Studios. See Us Studios means we cannot ask the world to see us if we cannot see ourselves. And the conversation of diversity and inclusion, we're consistently, and I'm saying we as Black people are consistently begging other people to represent us in the way that we think we need to be represented. And I said, fuck that. I'm not asking nobody to represent me. I'm going to create the table where I only work with Black creatives, Black makeup artists, photographers, videographers, drone, whatever you do in the creative field. I only work with these people to bring these visions, these narratives, and these stories to life.
That's beautiful.
But if I hadn't done the self-work,
that would have been all over the place. I keep saying self-discipline, but that's really what it is. You got to give yourself self-discipline, and self-love, and really take the time to work on yourself and continue to work on yourself. Because it's not like, I did all the work, I'm done. No, honey. No.
You done when you did.
Exactly. It's an ongoing thing. There's going to be challenges no matter what. But at the same time, continue to strive to be the best you. Continue to crush goals. There's always, even when you feel like you made it to the top, there's still going to be so much more there for you to do. Your purpose, knowing your soul life purpose and pushing towards that purpose is vital. And it's something you should always do and focus.
I literally said this on my Insta story the other day. I said the rat race ain't for me, because I understand. I said to say that I'm out of the rat race does not mean that I don't have goals, right? That does not. What that means is I know that simply by being the best me I can be, I will achieve greatness. And people are like, how do you say that? I will achieve excellence because I am excellent. I will birth creative endeavors far beyond the imagination because I am a birther. So when I nurture self, when I nurture my gifts, my talents, and who I am internally, all of this becomes true. All of this becomes real. But if you're not dealing with self, you literally cap what you're able to accomplish. And I refuse to be my own enemy, period.
Facts. What is your favorite, two things, because we both books. So I want to know, not even when it comes to favorite book, what are 3 books that you recommend for someone that is dealing with um, working with their traumas, or maybe dealing with their addictions? What do you recommend as far as the books? 3 books.
Let me open my Audible.
Okay.
Let me open my Audible. I'm a big I just got into Audible actually, but it helps me because I like to listen to books while I work.
Mm-hmm. Same. Most of the books I've read has been on Audible. More books than actual books has been on.
So if you're struggling with trying to take that next step, like it's time for you to elevate outside of where you're at, and you're like, okay, this ain't it, there's more. The first book I would recommend is The Big Leap by Hendrix.
Okay.
It's on Audible, Amazon, Kindle, whether you like physical books, whatever. That one, I just re-listened to it this week while I was in Chicago. And it really points out, like, the church calls it an age of accountability. My life coach calls it crossroads. There's a crossroads where we see, and she does it in a vision, she does it a visual, but she creates a V. And there's this is the V. This side is the worst of you. This side is the best of you. Right in the middle is where people tend to think that they're at. She would always ask me, where am I on this V? If you're right in the middle, read The Big Leap. If you're dealing with addiction, Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits by James Clear. Atomic Habits. When we look at addiction is literally a habit. Yes, The Big Leap. I know I'm wearing a mask. The Big Leap. LEAP. Yes. We're talking about addiction. Addiction is a habit that we've placed in order to prevent a feeling, a circumstance, whatever it is. So when you the author of The Big Leap is Gary Hendrix. Gary Hendrix, The Big Leap. And then, Janae, if you don't mind, do you mind typing in the chat? So the book is The Big Leap by Gay Hendrix. Sorry, not Gary. Gay Hendrix. We're talking.
I-X Hendrix?
Yeah, Hendrix, like regular.
Okay.
If we're talking about addiction, Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits.
By James Clear. And it's Hendrix, Hendricks.
Oh.
Not like Jimi Hendrix.
You know I love me some Jimi Hendrix, so I had to do it.
So yes, the Atomic Habits, and I say Atomic Habits is because habits are literal micro decisions that we make in our everyday lives. How you wake up in the morning. Choosing to hit the snooze button 6 times is not because you can't wake up. It's because you have a habit of hitting the snooze button 6 times. Right. So this book really deduces down choices from, we make choices like spending money. Ooh, let me go there because I'm telling them myself. Spending money is a habit. It's not, it does come from generational stuff. It comes from things that you've observed with your parents and things like that. But once you reach the age of accountability, it's a habit. So you perpetually put yourself in destitution because that's what you know. When you learn different, you can change habits on a small scale.
Learning to break the generational curse.
Boom. What she said. And so I always recommend that book because it really takes the mystery and heaviness away from when we talk about habit forming. And then if we're talking about shifting mindset, I have a lot of those, but I would say Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. He's an ex-Marine. It's very vulgar. I love it. And his audiobook, actually, he treats it like a podcast. So I always tell people to listen to the audiobook and not read the book.
You said Goggins?
Yeah, Goggins.
Okay, I thought that was it. Okay.
I always tell people to listen to the Audible because he literally has gone through some of the worst things in life that you can go through.
Mm-hmm.
But his fixation is on the mind, which is where I've gotten into the fixation of the self journey for. Is what you put in here really is what is your reality, right? And we always say, you know, we think about friends, relationships, things like that. How you formulate things in your mind is what is how your life can be. I'm not saying that we're not impacted by, you know, racism, systems. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm going down to the micro level of self. So on the micro level of self, and those of us who have the privilege to deal with self, because I've seen some people come out of the worst neighborhoods and have elevated themselves. And every time I talk to them, it's literally, I had to deal with me. So just to some extent, on the micro level of self, David Goggins is someone that inspired me to really get off my ass.
Okay.
And deal with me. And it's a book that I revisit every single year, because every single year there's new levels, new challenges, new things that I go through that I'm equipped for, of course. But it's kind of, he is if Jiminy Cricket was a gangster, that's,
okay.
Look at David Goggins.
Hey.
Hey.
I know I've seen a lot of people here. My cousin's on here. Hey Shay.
Shout out to everybody listening.
Yes. We Christina is dropping knowledge right now. I really appreciate all of this, because this is definitely, I'm asking questions for everyone, but this is also for me too. Facts. This is definitely it. What is your songs? Okay, we got 3 books, but what about 3 songs that keeps you going, keeps you motivated? And mind you, this woman is a choreographer. She's a dancer. She's a teacher when it comes to music and dance. And I took one of her, one of your classes and felt like I was about to die. Like, I was over there. And then it came to a point where I was like, I'm about to freestyle this shit, because I really try to keep up. But we won't talk about that. Okay, go ahead.
Look, the second class, I'm pivoting, I'm gonna come back. The second class said the same thing. They was like, I was like, yeah.
I felt their pain.
They were like, no. Okay, so songs. Ooh, okay, so it depends on my mood. I have 2 playlists.
Okay.
One of them is very hyped, very Leo, very like, I'm not da 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 da. And so on that playlist, I would say Grinding All My Life by Nipsey Hussle. Running, which was on the Creed 2 soundtrack with Nicki Minaj, Mike Will Made It, A$AP Rocky. But it's really Nicki Minaj's verse. The rest of them suck. Nicki up. But Running is that song on there. And I think I'm going to give the last one to Meek Mill, Wins Over Losses.
Yeah.
Wins Over Losses. Now, on the other playlist, which is a very softer playlist, Closer. Closer.
Hey.
Yes. Fuck With Myself by Banks.
Banks?
Mm-hmm.
I love Banks.
I love it. Look, anything she put out, but Fuck With Myself is the anthem.
Mm-hmm.
And a third. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Tiana Taylor, Killer, Killa.
Okay, Killer.
Those would be, if on the softer side, I'm talking about Christina, Sensual Christina, that's that. On the harder side, those are the other 3.
Awesome.
And that's not even including the Afrobeats playlist, but I'm not going to go there because we'll be here all night.
All right. So I want, what do you have what do you have in store for us? Like, can you drop some things, or if not, that's fine too. Or what's coming up? What's coming up for Christina? What can we expect for Christina after this? I definitely want you to put in your information, how we could find. We know about the Creed. We want to know about the next projects. We want to know about CoBiz. We want to know about it all. So
okay, so as a woman that wears 30,000 hats, well, so I was actually today blessed with a car, free and clear. I ain't got no car payment.
okay,
Shut up. Manifestation. I don't want it. And then I was in a car accident last year that put me on a cane, and the settlement came through, and I got the number I prayed for. So, because they was trying to play me. They said 50% of what I asked for. I said, oh, no, you don't. They actually gave me the number plus the little extra sauce on the top. Amen. So in terms of blessed, so that's the blessing recently today. And I was just like, wow, and I'm about to come in here and do this. Look at God. Amen. In terms of creativity, I'm really going to be focusing on structuring how I am as a creative director by doing a lot of small projects. Everybody I know says I'm an amazing content creator, and I want to actually use my skills in the creative directing realm, putting together small mini shoots. I used to do it all the time, where I just go in the backyard somewhere and shoot something, create something. So I will be actually using my platform to create more. I just hit my photographer. We just talked, and we're going to be doing a series of shoots and music videos, like mini music videos, over the next 6 months. I'm working with a rapper to do his. I'm hoping he'll make it the cover of his first album. Okay. He's only done EPs. I just did a project for a lady who's opening a beauty school. She just dropped her first 2 photos, so I will be dropping some more. And then she says she's had 7 clients for me to be creative directing those shoots. For CoBiz, I'm the digital media manager here, so anything you see on CoBiz is Instagram. That's me, yeah.
And for those who don't know what CoBiz is.
So CoBiz is a co-working space in downtown Richmond, California. We are a Black-run organization, nonprofit, 501c3, the first of its kind, really in the Bay Area. All of us, 90% of the staff is from Richmond. So I know in the city of Richmond, what tends to happen, and I'm getting a little political, but walk with me. What tends to happen is that they erect buildings or statues or parks and symbolic gestures of wanting to help the community, and then they let them deteriorate. With CoBiz, we've put our heart and soul into bringing something that would be in Silicon Valley. People come in all the time. It's like, it's so nice, and they're shocked by it. Mm-hmm. We wanted to bring, and I guess I can stand up and show it around. Yeah, I'll give you a little tour. So this is our little wall right here, but it's 9,000 square feet, and it is not only a co-working space, but an incubator space, a podcast incubator space. We do small business incubation. So if you have an idea and you want help in developing that idea, we have resources to help you do that. We have connections with legal services. We got connections with food services. CoBiz has done everything. We do a grocery giveaway once or twice a month. For the downtown community, and so far we've served over 1,000 families, and that was actually something that my heart was on when COVID happened, and my boss let me run with the idea, and so now it's something we've been doing over a year. There's so much to CoBiz. I honestly just tell people, if you want to learn more, book a tour.
Yeah.
I'm here every day, and you can go on cobizrichmond.com to book a free tour, and we have a free day pass for you to come and work for a day between 9 and 5. So CoBiz is a lot, and it's what the community needs.
Yes.
And right now our biggest challenge is getting the community to come in. So if you know people that are looking for spaces to work. I know the world's opening back up and everybody's not comfortable with going back to work. So we've been offering deals and things like that for professional workers who want to work in co-working spaces rather than go back to the office.
Right.
But it is a resource, and just, for those who are my testimony earlier, this is where I got my healing from. And my first position here was as the community manager. And as the community manager, I set the tone and energy for the space. So if you see who I am right now, that is the energy that is within CoBiz. And now my job is digital media manager. So I help communicate what we do, who we are, and how you can grow and build here. Actually, our tagline, which our CEO, that's his tagline, I just like using it, is let's build. We believe in community and collaboration, not isolation. So what you can literally get whatever you need at CoBiz. And if we can't get it to you, we'll find somebody that can.
Facts. And I've had the honor and privilege to be part of CoBiz and be there as well. And you're a gym, Wesley's a gym, and it's definitely needed in community of Richmond, where I'm from. So I'm just truly grateful that is there and a major resource and access for the community.
Yes, and then I'm trying to think. Outside of that, I just think this is a year of birthing for me. I had to sit down a lot of 2020, my own creative projects, but I'm now in a place mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, just holistically to be able to birth forth my creativity. So, and I'm shocked of some of the things that I have written out and planned. I'm doing my first music video this year, so I'm very excited about the birth thing. I've put all the work in to be able to birth out, so glad to be here.
Awesome. And where can we find you?
Okay, so bye, Wesley. You can find me at Christina Alejandria. So it's well, I'll type it in the chat, but you can find me on Instagram. Mainly, that's my platform that I use, but it's at ChristinaAlexandra. Usually, yeah, IG is my primary. I do like write on Twitter because that's where I get my little thoughts out, my little quips or what have you about life. But for the most part, if you find me through there, we can connect. And if you're creative and you're looking to work with somebody in the creative directing field, I'm always building up my network. My goal is to have my own studio in Richmond, to where you come in and you come in and you work with Black creatives. I want a roster of makeup artists, videographers, photographers, graphic design artists. You come in and it's like the vision is very clear. I've already chose my building, manifestation, right? I already chose my building. I know what it's going to be. It's going to be a campus, and it's going to be a place, with Black creatives. We create so much. Like, the culture of the internet is literally ran through our creativity. And then we don't have outlets to be able to do it in commercials. Like, I want to be in the school system to where juniors and seniors in high school can come to my place and get production credits on music videos and commercial shoots and things like that before they even graduate. So when they go to college and their teacher tries to talk about, like, I worked on the Beyonce music video, I don't need to hear any of that. Like, I want my students to be able to come through and gain something, because I understand how ruthless the creative work can be. But when we create our own platforms, when we create our own way, I think that is more impactful than trying to be at somebody else's table, because I'll be damned.
Facts.
And thank you so much.
Yes. Thanks for coming on the live, Mimi. Okay, so lastly, this is affirmations. So I'm going to give you 3 affirmations and I want you to fill in the blank. So affirmation is I will. I will.
I will live fully and die empty.
I have.
I have everything within me to be as successful and as beautiful and as full in this life that I can be.
I am.
I am that bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
That's an affirmation. Y'all don't understand. I'll be listening to that hardcore trap, female gangster rap in the
I mean, do
morning.
you see me?
Get
Do
me
you
up.
see me though? But yeah, I am. I think that would. Yeah, I am that bitch. Like
That's
that's. I
yeah.
see myself and I hold myself in that regard, and I grow accordingly.
Thank you so much, Christina, for being
You're
a part of my
welcome.
life. It's been a minute since I actually went on live for Vision, so I really appreciate everyone that coming on, and it will continue on. Um, anything else? I don't think there's anything else to say.
I think you know what's so funny. I was telling a friend earlier. We had a fix your crown moment earlier, and we were pouring back and forth into each other. And I told her, I said, I never prepare for these things. I just speak with what I'm given.
Mhm.
Don't ask me to repeat it though, because I don't remember.
Same, same, same.
So I hope you took notes. Because I'll be like, what? I said, what? Oh, I don't remember that.
Love you
But
much. Go ahead.
yes. But no, parting words is believe in yourself, have faith, have unshakable belief, and do the motherfucking work. That it.
And stay consistent.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep going. Keep going. All right,
Keep
love.
it pushing. All right. Mwah. Bye, y'all.
Bye.